Welcome to Big Blend Radio with your hosts, Lisa and Nancy, editors of BigBlendMagazine.com.
Hey everyone, welcome to Big Blend Radio's second Saturday Sunshine Stays show with the Palm Springs Preferred Small Hotels. This is an awesome group of independently owned boutique hotels in the desert resort community of Palm Springs in Southern California, real close to LA, real close to Joshua Tree National Park, even close to Vegas. If you're coming internationally, you want to go from Vegas to Palm Springs or vice versa, I'd encourage that. And also close to some of Southern California's mountain districts. So check out the website, authenticpalmsprings.com. Today, we are celebrating Pride Month. Now, from what I know, Palm Springs celebrates Pride Month all year round, every single day. And we have some fabulous guests joining us today. We're going to talk about cocktails, where to stay, where to play. We're going to talk about bagels. We're going to talk about music. We're going to have a lot to talk about. So I'm going to start off with Bill Sanderson. He is the co-owner of Townie Bagels. Him and his husband, Andy, own it. You can go to towniebagels.com. That's Townie, towniebagels.com. And Bill is also the Desert Gay Tourism Guild's board vice president. He's been doing that for the last 10 years or so. And I think it's 8 years for bagels with Townie Bagels. So welcome to the show, Bill. How are you?
Well, welcome. Thank you. I am great sitting here in Palm Springs.
Yeah. Is it nice and sunny? Because it is a sunshine stay, right?
Oh, yeah. We 360 days a year. It's amazing when we get 2 days of clouds. I start shuddering because there's no sun.
What happened during the winter? You guys got a little snow in those mountains. That was a little shock to the system, but the land liked it.
Yeah, but we needed it. But we also got a little rain, which we needed too.
So you've been doing Townie Bagels, you and Andy, for what, eight years now, coming up this year?
Yeah, 8 years in the store and 4 years at the farmers markets. Before that, we sold.
Oh.
Yeah.
So how long have you been in Palm Springs? I know 10 years with the Guild.
Yeah. I've been in Palm Springs. We've been in 14 years. We moved from San Francisco, 10 years there, and then we both were from Massachusetts.
Oh, okay. So what was it that got you, let's go to Palm Springs and move there? Was it the sunshine?
Well, we were approaching that 50 mark in our ages, and we decided that, I love San Francisco, but it was a house with stairs and hilly environment. And we said, well, we need to I wanted to make the retirement move early, even though we weren't retiring. So we looked at a couple places around the country and we came to Palm Springs and fell in love with it. And when the time came, we sold the house in San Francisco and moved here 14 years ago.
Oh, do you enjoy the sunshine? It is beautiful.
Yeah, yes, we shovel sunshine every day.
I know. It does make you want to sit out and have cocktails like all evening too, because the nights are so beautiful outside, But we're definitely going to want to talk about Pride Month, and just tell us a little bit about the Guild too. Just a quick overview, the Desert Gay Tourism Guild, everyone. So this is a good website to go to. I mean, even if you're looking to buy a home or to do business, they have a cool directory on there. If you go to palmspringsgayinfo.com. How long has the association been going, or the Guild?
It was probably 20 years now, probably at least more than 20 years that I know. I don't have the exact date in front of me. I've been there 10 years. Michael Green has been there probably since the inception. Oh, yeah. He owns Triangle Inn. It's a gay resort, clothing optional, and he's the president, and he couldn't make it today, but I'm graciously sitting in. And the Desert Gay Tourism Guild came about when we had about 20 to 25 gay-owned hotels in Palm Springs back in the early 80s. It was a big gay destination, but that time of history, the city fathers at that time weren't allocating any funds or anything in the tourism dollar to advertise gay resorts. So the gay resorts got together and said, could we form a guild so we could pool our money together and get those ads into the gay tourism magazines of the time, because that was pre-internet. So that's what really, it was self-marketing when there was a need, and that's what they were doing. to promote themselves, to get that message out there beyond the drive market of LA and San Diego.
Awesome. Awesome. I like that you put real estate in there too, because that's something that, people go there and say, okay, that's it. We're moving. So,
it can do that to you. Yes.
Yeah, it can. I want to bring Kent on the show. Kent is part of Descanso Resort, and Descanso, as I believe, Kent, this is a reimagined men's resort in Palm Springs, right? So everyone, descansoresort.com. Tell us a little bit about it, because it's beautiful. I was on your website today and it just looks so spacious and like cool, yet sunshiny vibes, but like just, I don't know, just you want to just feel, it makes you feel good when you go on there. I'm like, yeah, that's beautiful.
I appreciate that. Descanso is one of our 3 hotels that we own in the city. So my bosses originally owned a hotel called Santiago Resort, which they bought. It had been in business for about 40 years, and they bought it about 8 years ago, and really kind of refurbished it to being a high-end gay men's boutique hotel, which clearly there was a need for. It was crazy, crazy busy. They book about 6 months in advance. And
wow.
So they recently bought Descanso, which in Spanish translates to take a rest, take a moment for yourself, to be an alternative choice for Santiago guests. It feels like a distant cousin. And then they just opened another one called Twin Palms, which is doing amazingly well. And it's super modern and gorgeous and high design, and it has a very different feel to it. All 3 of them are just, they're jamming. It's been an incredible year. It really has.
That's awesome. And the importance of having gay men's resorts only. Tell us a little bit about that, because it seems like that is a comfort. Everyone gets to have a comfort zone on their vacation.
Well, I think that has a long history. Years and years ago, gay men wanted a place where they didn't have to deal with anything other than feeling comfortable and really feeling like they could relax in the world and not think twice about it. I think today that is not as critical. You can be a gay couple and you can go to the Best Western, you could go to the Kimpton, you can go anywhere. No one really cares anymore. So we try to create gay men's hotels, but that are also a different kind of experience. I don't know. I don't know the answer as to why it's separated, but it's sort of a tradition in Palm Springs, as in Fort Lauderdale as well. The 2 cities very much a lot of similar properties, and we're just happy to be keeping it alive. Our guests really seem appreciative of it. And
yeah, I think, because I think you're right about the world today, but we travel full time across the country. I'm going to say not all that perfectly friendly in some areas still. So I'm in all honesty, I think in Southern California, there's, it's a very open world and compared to a lot of places I've driven through lately. And so I think that it's still very important. And I just think it's, a relaxing feel probably for folks that are visiting that. Yeah, and now is it clothing optional or not? Because I know that there are some.
All 3 of our properties are clothing optional. Yes.
See, that makes a big difference too.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, for sure. If you go to the Kimpton and you get naked by the pool, they get very uptight.
Yeah. And you can't, and if you get naked and say I'm naked, they make it uptight on that
if you go
too.
to the Hilton, they don't like it either.
Yeah. Oh, great. So we've got Gregory Douglas here, and Gregory has the most amazing voice. You got to go check out his website. An amazing singer, songwriter. I think, what is it, 11 albums now? Am I right now? Is it, or 10? 10, 11?
I think it is 11. Yes.
Wow. Well, how does it feel to be 11? Welcome, Gregory.
Well, it's funny, this is what I've been doing my whole life since I got out of high school, and that was in '99 when Ani DeFranco was leading the charge, and independent artists were just like doing it without a label. And I just toured and pumped out albums, and that's what I did for 20 plus years, and until I burned out. from being on the road all the time and being away from my partner all the time.
Oh.
And we came to Palm Springs. We're both from Vermont, and we came to Palm Springs a couple of years ago by way of LA. We were in LA for a few years for music, mostly for me. He wanted to do real estate here. And so living in LA for 5 years, naturally we fell in love. And I have to say, you know, Townie Bagels was one of the first places we ate when we came to town. And Santiago was the first place that we stayed in Palm Springs.
And you are listed on the Guild's website, right? I'm just making sure with that real estate connection and everything.
We should be, yes. Good point.
That's awesome.
It's kind of a nice little reunion here. I will, yes.
Membership person. Delisa, just check in. No. But that's awesome. So you come, I mean, from Vermont all the way down. So you understand the sunshine and winters for sure.
Oh yeah. And you know, it's funny, we spent maybe 15 years in Burlington, Vermont, which is the big city of Vermont, but it's really no bigger than Palm Springs population wise. So it has a similar feel, but with all the benefits of the Southern California weather, for sure. It just feels like the best of both worlds. So we're here today.
So you've also got a blog, right? The two of you. The Palm Springs guys.
We started that because we were coming to Palm Springs and we were in LA, you know, as you do, to your point earlier, you come here, you fall in love with it. You decide you eventually want to live there. You know, at the time for us, we thought, well, we'll retire there someday, but that was before the pandemic. And naturally, the pandemic accelerated a lot of people's priorities. And we just decided to come a lot sooner. And, you know, in doing that, we were doing a lot of research from afar, because during the pandemic, we were sort of in transition, and we were in Oregon at the time, actually. And and we were doing some research on just learning more about the area and trying to especially better understand the gay male experience here. Mm-hmm. And there are some great resources here, but I didn't really feel like I landed on something that felt truly local, that catered to the gay male experience. And that's what I was looking for. So I thought I'm just going to compile the resources as I find them and just, you know, craft that. I thought that would be a really good thing for us to do, since he wanted to come here for real estate. Yeah. And for me, I thought it would be a really fun way to learn the area and obviously share that with other people, because we all have such similar experiences and we're all searching for similar things. So, and I really wanted to give, you know, even from an aesthetic standpoint, there's so much beauty here that isn't really captured online, you know, as much as it could
but
be.
I think you're coming from an artistic background too. And sometimes that's and you're a songwriter. So being able to write, going from a songwriting style to writing something, there's an art form in that. You know what I mean? It's poetic, yet at the same time, here's some basic information. And in real estate, you have to get down to the nitty and gritty, like, okay, how many schools are within 5 miles, and, you know, things like that. So it's kind of a nice balance with what you're doing there. And then apparently you also got to taste all these cocktails for boutique for the Palm Springs. And everybody, I wanted, again, if you go to Authentic Palm Springs, go sign up for their newsletter that comes out, the Boutiquely Palm Springs. And when you go on there, you'll see Gregory had a good time with Kathy going out there and sipping cocktails and finding the most gayest cocktails. And so, so tell me about the criteria. Is it the decor? Is it the flavor? Is it the name?
You know, it was a really, well, first of all, I want to say I actually met Kim through Kent. And, you know, it was just, that's how things happen in this town, which I really love. You know, there's such a sense of community, and people are looking for that here, as opposed to, you know, a lot of big cities where you're there for the hustle. Here, you're here to live your best life and really connect with people. And so it's amazing to me. having only been here for 2 years, how many things have already happened that are so fun and enriching. And I mean, just writing an article like that was super fun. And I actually didn't have a
Are you
crisis.
kidding me? When you're going to tell us that was fun?
Well, it was more fun than I
That's
thought.
a necessary note in there, just in case you didn't know.
It was surprising, actually, how it came to be, because I went in and I went to the bartender at each place and I said, "This is the article I'm writing. I would love your creative take on this, whether it's a drink that's already on the menu or something that you feel you want to create specifically for an article like this." And most people got creative above and beyond what I thought, and everything they made was spectacular. Like, this should be on the menu.
But you should have called me for this. Like, I don't care where I was in the country, I would have driven over. Like, hello, I'm your next best friend. I can help you. I want to go back to you, Kent, because have you always been in Palm Springs region? Tell us a little bit about your journey to Palm Springs.
I've actually only been here for a little over 6 years. I was on a job assignment in Las Vegas and in San Francisco for 25 years before that.
Wow.
A friend of mine who owned Santiago, and I had done some work with him in the past, came to Las Vegas and said, "I know this is going to sound crazy, but do you want to come run my hotel? My manager's going to work for the city." And I had always been in love with Palm Springs, and I've done corporate management. I've always been a problem solver. I've always been a project manager. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to try something different. And at 50 years old, I rebooted my entire life.
What is it with the 50? It's good.
And sold my house in Vegas and moved to Palm Springs. And I have never looked back. And I love it. I love it so much.
But there is this connection about Vegas and Palm Springs. And I think Palm Springs got so big. It's like, I want people that are looking for the old Vegas to come to Palm Springs. And that goes back to you, Bill, because is a little bit of the old Palm Springs vibe still there?
Oh, yes, there is. And I think, with Modernism Week we have here, we've always had that modernism vibe here. It's a big area of people that we have people that live the modernism lifestyle here. You'll see the 50s clothes and the cars all over the place. So I think that we've always had that. I think now we've had such when I first moved here 14 years ago, you could lay down in Palm Canyon in August and not see a car or get hit by a car. Now we're busy just about all year round. Obviously the summer months are a little bit lighter, but we are very busy during the summer. And
that's awesome.
I'm sure everybody loves that. I love seeing the people here. It makes your day go that much nicer when you're dealing, with a little bit of heat. But I think the history is still here, and you can still dig up all that history. It's still all around us. As far as where, you can take a tour see where the stars lived from, when your parents were alive. Unfortunately, most of the people coming here don't know who these stars are, but we do have new ones rising all the time coming out of Palm Springs. We just had the New York Kennel Club. The winning dog came from Palm Springs last week. So the top dog in the world is from Palm Springs. They actually live the next street over from me, and the half owner was my personal trainer. So we do have stars.
Well, there you go. Let's talk a little bit about Palm Springs' history of being a gay community, because this is, when you talk about celebrating Pride, you guys have Pride Month and the events in November, right? Because it's a little cooler. But if you're going to celebrate Pride, which you should, go to Palm Springs. It makes sense because you have the gay resorts. You have so much of a gay community, which is not something you see everywhere across the country, as we were saying earlier. But Bill, before we were recording, you were saying actually Palm Springs was like doing this for quite a while. Just the country wasn't quite awake to things yet.
Well, right. Palm Springs has always been kind of a gay area, even back in the 50s. You heard the buzz, this Hollywood star was gay and this Hollywood star, and it's all true. But we had gay bars in our sister city, Cathedral City, that's where all the gay bars were. They weren't in Palm Springs in the 50s. You had to drive to Cat City to have a cocktail
Cat
in a
City.
gay bar. Yeah, well,
You're not
Cat
supposed
City,
to go to Cat City as a gay bar. Cat City.
but that's what we abbreviated Cat City, Cathedral City. So that was the history of gay life in Palm Springs. Yeah, you know, sleep in Palm Springs, but drink in Cathedral City.
That's funny.
Back in the 50s. But as you move forward in time, in the 80s, we started seeing the influx of gay hotels rise, you know, to the numbers of like 20, 25 gay owned hotels here. Well, I say inns in hotels, small hotels. And the problem was in the early 80s, the political climate wasn't that much endearing to the gay tourist travel back then. So the city fathers at that time didn't allocate any money in tourism, you know, marketing towards the gay market. So like every major city, that business group got together, the gay hotel owners, and formed the Desert Gay Tourism Guild to put money together to take those print ads out pre-internet, to get the message out that we're here, we're a gay destination. And that's how it all grew from those very early 1980 days to fill that need.
So Kent, you're saying like Fort Lauderdale's one of the other cities. So we don't have like a ton of destinations yet. So
we really don't. And I also want to jump off of Bill and talk a little bit about Pride. Our Pride is really extra cool. It's really the last Pride of the season, so you can go out with a bang. It starts with Leather Pride weekend, you get Halloween in the middle, and then you get Gay Pride at the end. So it's basically like a 10-day extravaganza.
Oh my God, Halloween in Palm Springs has got to be off the top.
Awesome. So it's like an amazing vacation week. The city is packed with stuff going on. There's events happening all the time. But we're in a city that's over 40% gay owned population. And then you have tons and tons of second home, LA, you know, Southern California, San Francisco, gay owned homes. So the weekends, those numbers go up exponentially. So I'll have guests at the hotel who will say, you know, where's a good gay restaurant? I'm like, any restaurant that has a door on it is a gay restaurant in this town. Like anywhere you go is gay, everywhere is gay. It doesn't matter.
It's gay, you know, gay.
I mean, you don't even think about it. It just becomes such a norm. My partner and I went to San Diego and we were having dinner in a restaurant, and I looked around and I said, do you realize we're the only gay couple in this entire restaurant? Like, how crazy is that? And it was such an unusual experience for us because here it's such an incredibly inclusive city for our community.
Oh, I think that's special though, you know, for folks to experience. And it's interesting with you, Gregory, talking about just, you know, being there for 2 years and feeling that sense of network, that community. And that's kind of where I was going. It's like about an all gay resort. To me, it is about a community, having the guild. It's about building a network, because I think people feel safer and like more connected, you know, to do business with each other and to support each other, because for so long that support was not there. You know what I mean? It was underground networks versus open networks. You know what I mean? So I think that it's special what you guys are doing. But let's talk about some fun stuff. I heard that there is a place you can go to have a drag Sunday brunch. Is that true? I think it was Kim who was telling me.
There's about 10 of them right now.
What?
I think I'm the only shop in town that doesn't have one because they don't have room.
Oh my God. Bill, please do drag bagel brunch. Oh my God, yeah. That's so bad.
that would be. Oh, don't start me. Do not start me. But so you've got like 10 places doing drag brunch,
and they change all the time, and new ones open, and other ones take a break, and yeah, it's there. There's no shortage of drag activities here in town for sure.
Okay, what about where you went sipping cocktails and trying cocktails? Are there drag bars, drag?
Yeah, I tried to do some signature bars in our gay district, the Arenas district, as well as some hotel bars, you know, that are a part of the Palm Springs Preferred Small Hotels. And yeah, but again, like anywhere you go, it's just it feels great. In fact, and I feel like most of the bartenders I talked to were probably straight even, and they had some of the best concoctions that were so thoughtful, as to why they thought it was the gayest drink. So, it's just awesome.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, I wanted to hop in because when you said straight bartender, I have to give a plug to my friend Neil. He's the part owner of the Evening Citizen. It's a undescript bar on Arenas that you don't go in the front door. You have to make reservations to get in the back. And they only hold like 30 people, but they make old style cocktails from scratch. I mean, they're not just throwing things together and giving you a glass. It is traditionally old school cocktails. So it's called Evening Citizen. But Neil is a phenomenal bartender. He's the owner manager, but his depth of knowledge of cocktails is amazing. I sit there and just amazed at what he tells me when I talk to him.
Okay, so now
it's called the Evening Citizen is the website, but it's called the Evening Citizen. It's it's next to a street bar, but you have to go in the back door and you have to make reservations.
So street bar is the first gay bar, right? Street bar is the first gay bar.
Street bars and Arenas, and if you go to the left of it, there's a little bar called Stacy's that's no longer there. It's all blacked out. You can't go in that way. You have to go around back, and they're open on I think on the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like from 7.
Sounds like a little speakeasy to me.
It is. That's the whole theme of it. Yeah.
Ooh, I like those. Okay, so I have a question for each of you. Okay, pretend that you don't live there. You're on vacation, staycation, which I think you all kind of went through, right, after COVID and everything. But you're going to spend a weekend in Palm Springs. It could be middle week. It doesn't really matter. But you're going to spend a couple of nights with your partners, okay, in Palm Springs, not at home, but you're going to stay in one of the Palm Springs preferred small hotels, okay? All right, so you're going to go stay there for the weekend. Where are you going to go? What are you going to do for fun? Okay, like an activity. And we want to know where you're going to eat and drink. And if you could invite any gay celebrity, alive or past, to come and visit and join in on that. I know this is the longest question ever, right? Oh, come on. This is going to be fun. But if you could, we're playing happy hour. You could spend that evening with dinner and drinks. Who are you going to invite, alive or passed on, to have a communication? We're celebrating Pride. So let's do it in style. So let's start with you, Gregory, because I know you're kind of fresh off of that, being there 2 years and touring around. Where are you going to stay? Who are you inviting to join you and your partner for dinner and drinks?
I'm definitely staying at, one of the 3 clothing options. One of my top 3 favorite.
He wants to fling it off.
Resorts, and I am not just saying that because Kent is in the room here, but they set the bar, and not just for clothing optional resorts. They set the bar for the resort experience, period. Like, straight people wish that they could stay at these resorts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I said when I was looking. I'm like, dude, what about me? It's like, it's not fair. Okay, anyway.
I've stayed at all 3, and I've written about all 3, and each of them, it just, there's a consistency to each of them. Each one of them has their own personality, but like, the level, the attention to detail elevates the entire experience, and it's really, truly, I feel like 1 or 2 nights that I've been out of town for a long weekend. So I would definitely stay at one of those resorts. I would eat at that's a tough one, but probably either at Workshop Bar and Kitchen, because that's where my husband Glenn has worked since we got here for the past couple of years, and it's fabulous food. I mean, I think a lot of locals still don't know about it, but a lot of tourists know about it, and it's always pretty busy.
Bill, are they on the menu? I mean, on the directory. Make sure they're part of the guild. Check that membership. Sorry.
We do have a reach out program.
I'm just kidding.
I also love, there's so many great places, but Bar Cecil I love. I really love a place with a vibe. You go to either of those restaurants and it's like it transports you. And I would even say it transports you out of the desert, which is kind of fun. You live here locally. It's just a total vibe. And I'd probably get a drink at maybe somewhere on Arenas. I actually really love Dick's Bar because it's got this like understated, again, with being transported, I sort of feel like I'm in a Chicago bar,
Cool.
not even necessarily in the gay district of Chicago, just like a neighborhood bar that happens to be mostly gay. And they play a lot of like 90s music videos, and I grew up in the sticks in Vermont, so it's like all these songs that I love, but I only had 3 channels growing up, so I never got to see the music videos for any of these songs. So again,
That's
it's
cool.
kind of a vibe in there. And I've had a lot of interesting conversations with people at that bar, strangers and friends, so that would be a good conversational bar, I would think.
So who are you going to invite to the bar?
That is a good question. I don't know. I mean, I'm tempted to say, someone in music, like one of my heroes, but I don't know. At the same time, I kind of feel like it'd be cool to talk to someone who was gay and not able to come out because of their celebrity status or whatever,
So who would you pick of that?
I don't know. I got to think about that.
Okay, we're coming back, and we need to get your activity because you can't just eat and drink and swim in the pool.
Oh,
So,
my activity.
well, there's other activities, but I'm talking about like, touristy activities, not in the pool.
Well, I do love shopping, so
Oh,
I can
okay.
spend a whole day shopping.
All right. So shopping. So is a downtown. So because of all the different how many districts are there? Because you guys are all talking about different districts. So for people that haven't been there, I mean, how many districts does Palm Springs have? You think?
It's a small town, but we have the design district, we have downtown, we have Arenas, but they all are kind of right into each other.
Okay.
A short walk away from each other for sure.
Oh, okay. Do they have different vibes to them?
They do. Yeah.
Ah, I like that. I like that. So shopping, what are you shopping for, Gregory? Are you clothes?
All the above. Like,
Do you have music stores? Does anybody sell music?
There are some music stores in town. Yeah.
Bookstores?
There's some vinyl shops and books.
Oh, no way.
But a lot of fun gift shops too, like signature Palm Springs, mid-century modern or mid-century made modern, inspired. Really,
is there any shops that you go in there and you just like browse it and like have a few cocktails first and then go shopping and look at stuff and like, who would have thought of making that kind of thing?
Exactly.
Like,
there are quite a few of those.
Yeah.
Oh, we like those. We like those. All right. That's cool. All right. Still think of your person. And if you have to bring 2, that is okay. Because none of us care. It's a party, right? Palm Springs doesn't limit. All right. So Kent, I know because Bill is like working on this.
I'm done. I got it finally.
All right. Kent, who are you like? Let's start. Where are you going to stay?
The first thing I would do is I would make sure I come in on a Thursday, because I would want to start my night going to the museum, which is free on Thursday nights.
Oh, yeah.
Which I love to do. And then I would want to go to the Village Fest, which is a giant...
Let's go back to, can we go back to the museum?
Sure.
Is it like, it's all Palm Springs history, so it's going to have like...
It's a modern art museum. It's got all kinds of stuff. For a tiny little town, it's actually a pretty incredible museum, and the stuff changes all the time.
Cool.
It's very cool. It's cool. It's really great. And then on Thursday nights after that, they shut down about 6 blocks of downtown Palm Canyon and do a giant artisan craft fair where they have candles and clothing and
Gregory, gotta go.
And all kinds of really cool stuff for sure. And I love doing that, and then they have a whole row of food trucks. So that's usually where I end up.
Oh, that's fun. I love food trucks. What about music?
So, the museum just started doing this DJ series on Thursday nights too, and that's been really awesome. It's surprisingly good. Let's see, dinner. So I probably would, my favorite dinner place is like a serious dinner commitment. So I would wait
Oh,
until Friday night and it would hands down be Farm. No question. I love Farm. I went a ton during the pandemic because they have a ton of outdoor dining and I just have fallen in love with it. It's 3-course dinner, changes all the time. Like the menu comes on a chalkboard.
oh,
And
cool.
the person I would invite, the celebrity, not gay, but someone that I've adored for many, many years, and I've always dreamt about having a meal with, is Kathy Najimy.
Ah,
It's very random, I
wonderful.
know, but I
Yeah.
think she's incredible. I've seen her live. I've watched her career. I just adore her, and I can't think of anyone I would much rather just sit and hear stories from,
Oh,
for sure.
so where are you staying? You can't leave that out. That's kind of important, wouldn't you say, Kent?
I,
Pick a
without
resort.
tooting my own horn, I kind
You're
of feel
allowed
like
to.
our 3 properties are really the 3 that I would only consider in town. Just because I know how spoiled our guests are. I mean, we pass out popsicles on a hot summer day. We pass out wine on the weekends.
What?
We
What?
we
Why
we
do you
take
have to
care
be
of
gay
people.
only?
Well,
I get it, but I'm just saying, I want
Lisa, you
wine.
can come, please. Come and
Okay,
visit
can I
more.
at least let me go for wine time?
Yes, of course.
I
Of
want the
course.
wine over the popsicles, but I'll take the popsicles too. Because see, but
Oh,
that's the thing. I think that's the thing is it's fun. I think
yeah.
Palm Springs, all these shows, and it's been a few years. We used to live up in the Morongo Basin up in 29 Palms. So we'd come down to Palm Springs to shop. Don't tell anybody. But at that point, you needed to go down the hill. And but there it's just fun. Palm Springs is fun. Can we
Yeah.
mention the nudie bridge since isn't there a nudie naked bridge? I know I probably brought this up on a show with Michael a while ago when he was on one of our shows. But come on, that's a thing that people should do for Pride, right?
Well, it's actually a closed bridge between the resort that is closed, that is a nudist condo association. It bridges the street. They can go from one of their buildings to the other over the road. It's not open to the public.
Oh, that's not as much fun. I think you need to build one.
Well,
I
you
think
can
there
go nude
should
if you
be.
want, but I can't be liable for it.
Yeah. But what other town can you think of that would be like totally cool with that, you know? And and the bridge goes over like a main, a main
Oh, that is
street.
funny. That has
But
got to be.
they have a high wall, so you can't see anything
Yeah.
on the bridge. So it's not like an open bridge.
Oh, but that would be fun, though. I mean,
Yeah.
talk about, a parade. Come on. Come on. That's the way to go. I'm just saying, I think you should make I don't know, Kent, you've got 3 resorts. I'm just saying you could make it happen.
There's a really big clothing optional community here in Palm Springs. So if that's
Sunny.
someone's tribe, there's clothing optional potluck, there's clothing optional hike groups, there's all kinds of
Hiking in the
full
desert?
hikes. What?
Yeah. Naked hiking?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That is cool. That
There's
is that.
naked yoga. There's all kinds of stuff. People love to take
Hey,
their clothes off in this town.
that's how we were
Yeah.
born.
And
That
you
is
sort of
how
get
we were
addicted
born.
to it. I would
Yeah.
say, like
It's very freeing.
especially swimming,
Oh,
Yeah.
that is your.
once you're
Listen.
swimming clothing optional, forget about it. It's like
Yeah.
it feels wrong to wear anything.
I grew up doing that. Yes. That was
Well,
fun in the ocean. I was like, at the end of a night of partying, there was, where I grew up there, we used to go party. It was on the beach and like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. I don't know. Somehow we all lost our clothes and went swimming with the sharks in the ocean. So it was pretty fun. But there's nothing like it. There's nothing like that freedom of being, in your birthday suit.
Sure.
Yeah. Bill, I know you're ready. He's like, come on. I've thought about this.
I've been making notes left and right. Well, I have to say, one of the first hotels I stayed at when we were deciding to come here was the Hacienda. And I do favor them a little bit because it's some good, I don't know if it's good memories. I haven't stayed at a hotel here since I own a house here now, but that was a really nice time when I stayed there. So I would go back there just to see if they've upheld their high standards that they have. For breakfast, I have to go to my bagel place because I love a bagel, and we're the only ones that make bagels here. So real bagels.
Yeah, see, listen, there's nothing like a fresh bagel.
Well,
You know-
boiled bagel. You have to say they have to be boiled. You can get a fresh bagel, but they have to be boiled like New York, which we do. For dinner, I would go to Copley's on Palm Canyon. They're our go-to place for little special occasions. Andy and I, my partner and I, will go there for dinner. For a drink after dinner, I would head out to a little off the beaten path to Paul Bar. They also have dinner there, but they're a very old school bar as well. They have a big. It actually wasn't originally an old bar, probably dating back to the 50s. Because they kept the whole back end wood facade of the bar with all the freezer glass doors and everything,
cool.
and they wear the white shirts with the black bow ties and the white aprons, and they make good old fashioned cocktails. But I would go there for a cocktail. For my activities, I would definitely head over to arenas. I would probably go to Quads for a quiet cocktail and watch the video DJ play video music, and then I'd probably go over to the tool shed by my place.
I love that his activity is more cocktails, by the way.
Oh,
But
yeah.
he puts in the video DJ just as to balance that out. That was well done, by the way.
Yeah. My second, I would go to the tool shed for my final cocktail, and the celebrity that I would want to get here, it's a little self-personal, but I would get Warren Buffett here. I want to chew his ear off to get him to open some businesses here. You know, we always can use, we're a lovely tourist economy, but I'm always tooting the horn. We need more other jobs than just tourism. And I would want to do that for the city to say, hey, can you get a couple of your businesses here? That would be something I'd like to do.
And I recently found out he is not the brother of Jimmy Buffett, but Jimmy Buffett has cool shirts. But anyway.
And just one comment on your naked part. As RuPaul says, we're all born naked. The rest is drag.
That's funny. That is funny. That is funny. I love that. Gregory, you're not off the hook. Who are you inviting?
Well, I've been thinking about it, and I'm even surprising myself with this answer, but I have an explanation. I would choose Elton John, and here's why. Because believe it or not, I am not the biggest Elton John fan musically. I certainly appreciate him, but he's never been one of my all-time favorites, although I get a lot of comparisons to him with my own music. But I really appreciate him more and more, so I am loving his music more and more. I am loving what a role model he's been throughout the years and how much he's doing to give back and to uplift young and emerging talent. Very few people in power positions in the music community are doing that. And we need that more than ever, because how do you discover anyone new these days? It's like a needle in a haystack. So he's doing a lot in that regard. I would be
But it's also mentorship. I think it's the mentorship.
Yes.
That's really the important part too, of what he's doing.
Absolutely. And he does so much in so many areas. I would love to hear all of his stories, just what it was like to music, all of his music stories throughout his career, but I would also love to hear his perspective on being a gay man and how things have really evolved in his experiences, especially being in the public eye. But I'm also curious because Kate Bush is probably my all-time favorite artist.
Running Up That Hill, I listened to your singing of that. It was awesome. Yep.
Thanks. And, I had to work my way back to her because a lot of my younger influences were constantly influenced by her. So I worked my way back to her, and she sort of became like, I'm like, oh, I get it now. But Elton John was someone that she has really credited quite a bit as a major influence, especially in her earliest stuff. And so many roads continue to lead back to Elton John in really interesting ways.
It's about integrity to art and who you are. I think that's a thing. And it's hard if you haven't come out yet. It's really hard because you're battling that, right? And so, like you were saying, you wanted someone that hadn't come out yet, but so is there an artist that you would want to talk to that hasn't come out yet? But then how would you know? Like, do you know? You have the secret network. See?
Well, I would be interested to talk to someone who maybe is no longer with us, who may have just to learn what life was like, really, how deep the struggle was. I mean, I can only imagine, because I know how deep the struggle still is for many of us, even in this day and age. Even for me, I mean, I'm 42, and it took me
not yet 50, by the way.
But the amount of personal healing that I have experienced just in the past 2 years of living in Palm Springs has been tremendous. And I think that speaks a lot to the importance of being somewhere where you feel safe and seen and integrated. And I mean, truly, you are, as gay men living in a straight world is really how I see it now. There's so much that I didn't realize was even possible, that the sense of living a normal life as a gay man that you get to experience here. And there are so few places you can do that. So it's extra important to me to help preserve that and to help,
I think you're really right. And going back to Kent, with you guys having, gay men exclusive resorts, I think it is like that. I know a lot of friends who've gone through a lot in the music industry and ended up leaving LA. And I don't even want to, I mean, the stories are pretty brutal. So I think, we're still not grown up to things in this country. And so when you can go to a place where you're accepted, and that's with anything, if you're always fighting a battle, say, like for me, I'm always fighting for the environment and conservation. And if I'm always around people who are anti that, you start to feel kind of like nobody cares, and it sucks. And then you're around someone who's on the same place with you. It feels good. You feel like you're at home, and it sounds to me like Palm Springs feels like home for folks. Now, Bill, are you sure you want to stick with cocktails for your activity? Well, because I know you represent so many people. I know that people are going to go, come on.
Well, I didn't want to be just cocktails.
We had a video DJ. Wait, that was an activity. He was watching.
I know. Well, that's a cocktail. No, I would take a movie at our cultural center, which is the Palm Springs Camelot Movie Theater. It's called the Palm Springs Cultural Center now, but that's our art movie theater. I would take a nice art movie in at that as my activity.
You guys have art movies?
Yes.
Well, yeah. Oh.
Yeah. The Palm Springs Cultural Center. It was called Camelot Theater, but they rebranded to the Palm Springs Cultural Center. They didn't change the building; they just changed the brand.
That's where Michael is too, right?
Yes, that's where.
That's Michael Green. Yeah. Now, didn't you perform there, Gregory?
Yeah. That's where I just performed, and that's typically where I do perform. And I have to say, the beautiful thing about the Cultural Center is how much they are trying to bring diverse programming to the town. It is a tourist town mostly, and so a lot of the entertainment tends to cater to that. So you have a lot of the same sort of stuff, everything from drag shows to the old Hollywood crooners, a lot of jazz, but there's really a lot of cool, interesting, diverse stuff happening there. And I'm really one of the few original, I play mostly original music when I perform my own
except for Kate Bush,
except for a few, sprinkle in a few covers. but there's not a lot of original music. I've never lived in a town where there's not a lot of original music happening, so I'm sort of like planting my original music pole. Yay! With the help of the guys there as well. So,
but the surroundings, I think it only makes sense because you've got so much like Coachella going around. You've got like Peppy and Harriet's up the hill. So there's a lot of that people coming through. So all the covers and all the bands doing that kind of thing. it all started with originality. So it only makes sense to have original music. So that's cool that you're doing that. Yay. I love that. Well, hopefully when we get to Palm Springs, we get to hear you perform. So, and have popsicles and wine at the pool.
Yes.
Yeah, I want that. I want wine at the pool. I really could use that. But guys, this has been so cool. Thank you so much for playing my game, my long-winded question. But it's been fun. You taught us what to do. Anything else before we go that people should know about?
Bring your suntan lotion.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. And drink lots of fluids, i.e. wine by the pool and popsicles. No, you got to drink water. But everyone, Gregory Douglas, go to gregorydouglas.com. Also, the palmspringsguys.com. That's the website there. Also, you can keep up with Bill at towniebagels.com. They are boiled, not fried. I'm just kidding, Bill. It's like, where's the fried Twinkies? Does anybody do that anymore? Anyway, I don't even know if we get those anymore. But also go to the Desert Gay Tourism Guild's website. It's palmspringsgayinfo.com. And then also descansoresort.com is the website to go. And from there, you can link through to the other two resorts, right? That's what I saw today.
Yes.
That you can go from there. So, and good luck with bookings, right? 6 months in advance? Ah. Are you getting champagne instead of wine at those other ones? What's going on?
On Sundays.
Oh, okay.
We'll see you there, Lisa.
Oh, yes, we're on our way. We're on our way. Thank you. We like that. Of course, everybody, authenticpalmsprings.com is the website for the Palm Springs Preferred Small Hotels. We do this show every second Saturday because it's always sunshiny in Palm Springs and it is always sunshiny on Saturdays. So tune in for that. Keep up with us at bigblendradio.com. And you can also keep up with the social media if you go to Palm Springs Stay on social media. And when you go to their website, make sure you get Boutiquely Palm Springs and go read Gregory and Kathy's article about cocktails because you must. It's fun. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.